Hi friends. Happy Thursday. What was coming up for me today to talk about in the live is triggers. Triggers. How many triggers do you have a day? And by triggers, I mean things, people, places, words, thoughts, emotions that trigger you into reaction. You react based on something that happens externally. And by the way, nothing happens externally because it's all your creation. You're creating it. Whatever energy you are vibrating at is what you will create, what you will see. So we are literally in an energy soup, a beautiful energy soup. What does your energy soup look like today? And there's no judgment around it. It's just an awareness, right? So the reason why I want to talk about triggers, there's two things. Number one, we often think a trigger is our personality, right? It's who we are. Our friends know us as being bothered by something. And sometimes it's even like fun to have a trigger that you get to make fun of. And sometimes it's funny to have triggers too. And you begin to think, oh, this is who I am. This is my personality. You identify with the person who's having the trigger. And really, your trigger is not who you are. It's not your personality. You get to actually choose in every moment if you're going to be triggered by something. So can you have that awareness? And it's so important if you're here to serve people and you're in whatever it is that you do, if you're serving humanity in some way. Can you imagine if you don't have any triggers, how much more effectively and how much more compassionately you can serve those you're here to serve? Because if there's a word, for example, that someone says that you're working with that triggers you and you have a judgment around it and you want to change it for them, right? You're not clean, you're not empty, you're not allowing source to be what's serving in the moment. Your personal bias, opinions, preferences around the trigger is what's coming, is filtering your service. So it's really, if you're really committed to serving in the world, it's so important that you recognize what your triggers are and you clean yourself of them, you purify yourself of them. And I'm not saying this that you have to be perfect at this. It's a journey, right? It's a process. We don't wake up one day and suddenly don't have any triggers anymore. I mean, that could happen for sure if you make that choice. So your triggers, they're not your personality. They're not who you are. You get to choose in every moment if you have a trigger or not. And you get to show up differently. Like, even if someone says a word that offends you, and right now I want you to think of a word that is the most offensive word to you in the world. Like, if someone said it to you right now, you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe, how dare they say that to me? Like, they called you this word, right? And you suddenly go into your person consciousness, your ego is offended. The word has no meaning. Absolutely. You're giving it the meaning in that moment, right? You get to choose. It doesn't mean, there's a difference between allowing that energy, right? And you can say, oh yeah, no thanks. I don't prefer to be around you if you're going to, call me that. But at the same time, it's also just a word and it doesn't have a meaning. So how much more effective can you be in serving and doing what you do when you're not triggered by words? And how much more love can you show up as in that way? So that's my challenge for you, is to notice your triggers today. Just when they come up, just have awareness, just notice them and choose. Do I want to be triggered by this? Can I just release it and let it go? Do I need to investigate the trigger? And because there's those two options, right? Those two options will serve you. So either you surrender, you allow, you accept, you release it, you make a different choice. Or you can investigate, what does this mean? Why do I have this trigger? How can I release and let this go right now? So you can even leave in the comment below, what is your major trigger in the world, whether it's a word or an action or a person, and what can you do today to just let go of that trigger? And really, it's just a choice to let it go. So I hope that was helpful for you. And I look forward to seeing how you can create yourself and empty yourself without having these triggers in your life, and how much more effective you can be in the world. Okay, I love you. Bye.